Is exercise a magic bullet for longevity? At 80 years old, Robert Krakoff was still doing push-ups in his garage gym. Not just one or two. We're talking clean sets, steady breathing, sleeves rolled up, radio humming in the background. That morning, he ran up a flight of stairs, opened a stubborn pickle jar, and took a 6-kilometer jog before most people had finished breakfast. He said he did it not to live longer, but to live better. To stay sharp enough to remember his grandkids' names, to be strong enough to carry his own groceries, to be proud of the man he saw in the mirror, and he meant it. Because while Robert didn't make it to 100, he passed at 81, he spent nearly every one of those years fully alive. So it makes you wonder, if daily exercise did not extend Robert's lifespan, what did it actually do? And should the rest of us still bother moving every day if it won't buy us more time? Let's dig into that, because what we find might completely change how you see the finish line. You ever notice how most people slow down after retirement? The daily walk turns into a shuffle. The stairs get replaced with elevators. The garden tools stay in the shed. But look closely at people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s who still seem sharp, happy, and full of life. And you'll find one thing in common. They move. Not hours in the gym. Not CrossFit or sprint intervals. Just simple, consistent movement. They walk every day. They dance in the kitchen. They work in the yard, chase their grandkids, sweep the driveway. That quiet, steady motion adds up. Because humans weren't designed to sit still. We didn't evolve with recliners or escalators. We evolved to move, just enough to get what we need and then do it again tomorrow. And if you are thinking, but I'm not an athlete, here's the good news. You don't have to be. In fact, the people who age the best, they usually aren't athletes at all. They are folks who just kept showing up day after day for a walk, a bike ride, or a swim. That leads to something most of us miss. Exercise does not just change your body, it changes your day. Ask anyone who goes for a morning walk. They will tell you, the rest of the day feels lighter. Problems feel smaller. Ideas come quicker. You feel a bit more like you again. It is not magic. It is just that moving your body clears your mind. Robert used to call his jogs his thinking time. He would pop in some headphones, lace up his sneakers, and hit the trail near his home. He said that most of his best ideas, business plans, life decisions, even Christmas gift ideas came while running. There is something about movement that switches your brain into a different gear. Like it frees up space in your mind that you did not know was cluttered. And no, it does not have to be running. Many people get the same feeling while swimming, gardening, or walking the dog. The key is movement that is just hard enough to make you breathe through your mouth, and just long enough to quiet the noise in your head. But here's the part people rarely talk about. Daily movement is not always easy. Some days you will not want to get out of bed, some days the couch will win. But here's what changes everything: habit. When exercise becomes part of your routine, not a decision you wrestle with, it gets easier. You stop waiting to be motivated. You just do it. One woman in her 60s started walking 20 minutes a day after losing her job. At first, it was just something to fill the time, but within a month, she was sleeping better. Within 2, her knees hurt less. By month 3, she had made a group of walking friends and said her depression lifted for the first time in years. Sometimes it's not about living longer. It's about waking up and wanting to live the day ahead. Let's talk about the physical side. No fancy science. Just this. People who walk at a brisk pace are more likely to live longer than people who walk slowly. People who stand and stretch every 30 minutes have fewer aches and pains than people who sit for hours. People who take stairs, walk dogs, rake leaves, or push carts are more likely to stay independent into their 80s and 90s. Robert didn't train to be strong for Instagram. He trained to be strong enough to carry groceries, fix things around the house, and open stuck jars. That kind of strength isn't flashy, but it keeps you in charge of your own life. That is the quiet benefit of daily movement. Freedom. The freedom to drive yourself to appointments, to pick up your grandchild without wincing, to enjoy your space, your hobbies, your food, on your own terms. You do not need a gym membership for that. You just need consistency. Then there's sleep. So many people can't fall asleep or stay asleep. And yet, the ones who walk, swim, stretch, or even do gentle movement like Tai Chi, often fall asleep faster and wake up more rested. Why? Because our bodies were designed to wind down after effort. Movement burns off the stress that piles up during the day. And once it is gone, your body knows it is safe to rest. It is like we've forgotten one of nature's most basic rules. Spend energy, then recharge, not the other way around. Even better, people who sleep better tend to eat better, and people who eat better tend to move more. It is all connected. That is what Robert believed too. He said his morning jogs helped him sleep deeper. He would fall asleep faster and wake up more clear-headed than on days when he skipped. He swore by this one rule: start the day with movement and the rest will fall into place. And that brings us to something nobody likes to admit. Getting older is hard. It is not just the wrinkles or the birthdays. It is the slow drip of losing what you used to do without thinking. Getting off the floor, lifting a bag of groceries, bending to tie your shoes. But daily movement slows that loss. Every walk is a vote for independence. Every stretch, every step, every squat, no matter how small, tells your body, we are not done yet. Robert knew he would not live forever, but he made a promise to himself to never stop moving. And by doing that, he gave himself years of joy, purpose, clarity, and dignity. Because maybe that's what we are really chasing. Not just a long life, but a good one. So will daily exercise help you live to 100? Maybe. Maybe not. But it will help you live better for however long you are here. To stay strong enough to care for yourself. Sharp enough to hold your grandkids' stories. And steady enough to laugh, to love, and to show up fully, day after day. Not because it adds years to your life, but because it adds life to your years. And if that is not worth moving for, what is?